Hey everyone, this is your host Manik. Welcome to another video. So Poco X2 or Redmi Note 9 Pro Max? A question that I have been exploring since the past few weeks or so. And who is the ultimate winner? Well, stay tuned till the end of video to know the answer. And before we start, if you wish to stay notified about the latest videos, do click on that subscribe button and press the bell icon next to it. So after a number of in-depth tests, I'll cover these devices point-wise. So first of all, the overall design and build quality. Well, this is something subjective, and some of you might love the design of Poco X2, but I'm not really a fan of flashy glass backs. And here, I would like to give my point to Redmi Note 9 Pro Max, because it's more subtle and looks premium for the price. So my point to the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. Now coming to the display quality. Well, both of these are 6.67-inch IPS LCD displays with Full HD resolution. But the one found on Poco X2 has 120Hz display, which sucks battery quickly, but still, it feels smoother and better. Plus it has HDR10 support as well. So here the point goes to Poco X2. Now coming to the internal hardware. So the Poco X2 is powered by a Snapdragon 730G SoC, clocked at 2.2 GHz with 6GB of RAM in the base variant as well, plus UFS 2.1 storage too. On the other hand, the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max has a Snapdragon 720G processor with 6GB of RAM in the base variant as well. Plus it also has UFS 2.1 storage, same as that on Poco X2. But looking at the benchmarks, well, the Note 9 Pro Max scores better than the Poco X2. So on Antutu benchmark, Poco X2 scored 2,74,000 points, whereas the Note 9 Pro Max scored 2,77,000 points. And thus Redmi Note 9 Pro Max won this round. Now in the battery department, here the battery on Note 9 Pro Max is simply bigger and lasts 2 full days easily on a single charge. Plus it takes only 1 hour and 10 minutes to charge it fully because of that 33 watt fast charger as compared to 27 watt one on the Poco X2, which also charges that 4500 mAh battery quite fast in around 1 hour and 5 minutes. But if you compare them, well, the Note 9 Pro Max simply wins this round. And we also have a dedicated SD card slot on the Note 9 Pro Max, whereas the Poco X2 has a hybrid SIM card slot. Now software wise, both of these run on MIUI 11 on top of Android 10, but the one on Poco X2 has no ads. But on the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max, there is quite a lot of bloatware and ads, and a video on how to remove that is coming soon. So the Poco X2 wins this round. Now coming to the gaming department. Well, the Poco X2 has liquid cooling inside to sustain more heat and keep the device cool, even with extended period of gaming. But does that make sense? And is the phone really cool to touch? We will come to that in a second. The Redmi Note 9 Pro Max on the other hand has no liquid cooling inside of it. But does that mean Poco X2 is simply better? So I put both of these to test with PUBG, Call of Duty and other games. And I did game on them for extended periods of time with official cases applied, as you guys will be doing the same as well. So I started playing PUBG for like 1 long hour on both of these devices, and the results were a bit unexpected. So in PUBG, the game Turbo tool on Redmi Note 9 Pro Max showed up 60 FPS. But that was not the case ideally, as the Poco X2 on same settings was stuck at 40 to 42 FPS max. And I had my doubts previously too, so I decided to dive deeper on what this thing really was. So after spending literally hours, I don't know if I'm right or wrong in this, but the game Turbo mode on Note 9 Pro Max seems to be biased towards PUBG. It's like as if they have made it to display 60 FPS, even in reality when it's not. Because Poco X2 with everything similar gave only 40 FPS. So I tried using GFX tool as well, and I used smooth and 60 FPS, and the overall experience did improve a lot. But Poco X2 started heating up more than Note 9 Pro Max. So even though Redmi Note 9 Pro Max wins this round, looks like Xiaomi has done something behind the scenes to display fake FPS on this device. And that is seriously bad, and I hope it will be fixed soon. Apart from this, the call quality on both of these is sort of similar, as both have the same sort of setup, so it's a tie in this round. And we also have an LED notification light on the Note 9 Pro Max, and on Poco X2 it's not there. Now one more tiny thing, the frame of Poco X2 is made from metal, and the one on Note 9 Pro Max is made from plastic, so it's a bit less durable, but will hold up just fine for day-to-day usage. But do keep that in mind. And coming to this quad camera setup on the back, as you already know, both of these devices have similar sort of setups. So 64 megapixel Sony IMX686 sensor for the Poco X2 and 64 megapixel Samsung GW1 bright sensor for the Note 9 Pro Max, which is pretty much capable like the Sony sensor too. The images have a lot of detail, come out pretty sharp, plus they have similar sort of 8 megapixel ultra wide camera as well, that have more or less same images. So here is the first sample that I have shot with these devices on auto mode, and both of these devices gave a very different output. So these were taken side by side. Now let's zoom in and check out the difference. So the image shot from Note 9 Pro Max has better details. As you can see, we can clearly read this text, and the overall colors are better than that on Poco X2, whose camera just didn't preserve much details and washed out the image and highlights. And I'll prefer the Note 9 Pro Max shot in this case. Well, that was unexpected, so I took this image again, this time in the 64 megapixel mode on both the cameras. So these look good, and again the same thing happened. The image from Note 9 Pro Max looks better and rich, with much more colors and details. So let's zoom in to see if it's really true. So we can easily read this text on the image shot on Note 9 Pro Max, but no such detailing in the Poco X2 shot. But the details on buildings are a bit better on the Poco X2. But overall, I will prefer the image from the camera on Note 9 Pro Max, because it's much more detailed and usable. Now coming to the third image. Well, this was a closer subject and I tried to focus on the wood here. So the images look great and detailed overall, and are plenty sharp too. But let's zoom in to see the truth. Well, Poco X2 is back in the game now. It has preserved a lot of details overall, and the image is sharp, even after zooming in. So the Poco X2 won this round, hands down. Let's go to the next shot now. So I tried something more colorful this time, like this tree. So I tried focusing on the center of this bunch of leaves. And let's zoom in to see the details. So as you can see, the image shot on Poco X2 has more details, the image is more crisp, and the color accuracy is also better than the Note 9 Pro Max. So Poco X2 won this round too. And I tried taking the same shot with 64 megapixel mode on both of these devices. And the results are on the screen. So let's zoom in, and in this shot as well, the Poco X2 was able to preserve a lot of details from the center of these leaves. And it looks so much better and true to life. So Poco X2 beats Note 9 Pro Max in this round as well. Well, coming to the first shot, this was a tricky one, where both the devices had to focus quickly while preserving the details as well. But there was plenty of time for both of them, and the results are in front of you. So I can say for this image, even zoomed out, that the Note 9 Pro Max has a better one. So let's zoom in to confirm the same. Well, as I said, the image from Poco X2 has far less details of the insect. Just look at the wings. They look crisp and clear in the one shot on Note 9 Pro Max. So Note 9 Pro Max is back in the game with this shot. Now coming to the next shot. So both of these look similar, well sort of, but let's zoom in to be sure. So the image shot from Note 9 Pro Max looks better, as it has better details than what we see on the Poco X2, and the leaves look a bit sharper. So the Note 9 Pro Max wins this round as well. Now let's test that macro camera, as we have a 5 megapixel one on the Note 9 Pro Max, which is better than 2 megapixel one on the Poco X2, at least on paper. So let's see the results in this case. And as expected, there are some minute details extra on the image shot from Note 9 Pro Max. And as you can see on the box, the text is pretty much readable. So that point goes to Note 9 Pro Max. After that, here is an image sample shot on these devices in dark using normal and night mode. So the images from both of these look like a mess without night mode. And after zooming in, it turns out that the Poco X2 has more details than the other device. And with the night mode, here is another image. And well, in this shot too, the image shot from Poco X2 is a bit clearer. Though the Note 9 Pro Max preserves some better colors than the Poco X2, so that's a tie sort of situation. And here is a video sample shot from both of these devices at the same time, without any tripod or anything. And so you guys be the judge and decide which one is better. As per my opinion, none of them is great, but I see that the Note 9 Pro Max is trying to over-sharpen things to preserve the details, which in this scenario has led to lack of color accuracy, and thus I prefer the shot from Poco X2 because it's more natural and true to life. So here are some image samples shot from the front camera of this device, and for this one I prefer the shots from the Note 9 Pro Max, simply because they are better, true in color and contrast. And the one shot on Poco X2 makes me look like some sort of Chinese guy, as it just brightened up the whole image, which I am not a fan of, and the portrait mode works well in both of these two, just in case you were wondering. So overall, the winner in this category, if everything is considered, is Note 9 Pro Max. But if you consider only primary cameras, because of the more accurate colors in the video, Poco X2 is a bit better. And in fact, Poco X2 was launched at much cheaper price. But it looks like the popularity of this device has reduced to ashes because of the frequent price hikes. So well, I think at this price segment, you should go with the Note 9 Pro Max. Everything is almost similar or better in this device, and you will end up saving some for a Bluetooth earphone as well. So my top pick in these two is the Note 9 Pro Max. So that's it. This was the in-depth comparison of the Note 9 Pro Max and Poco X2. So like this video if it helps you out, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.